Hare Krishna, everyone, and welcome back once again to our lectures on the glories of our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastatya Deshatarane. All glories to Prabhupada. So we're continuing with our mini-series on stimulation for ecstatic love, and this will be part 150, in which we will continue to discuss the various disguises of Radha and Krishna in their pastimes. In this episode, Krishna very cleverly disguises himself as a friend of his. This is the disguise today. He disguises himself as a friend of his. And how so? Well, here we go. We are presently in the month of Kartik, also known as the month of Damodar, and we're all aware of Krishna's naughty pastimes of stealing butter from the elder gopis in Vrindavan. And as a result of the stealing, the elder gopis would regularly complain to Mother Yashoda. Garga Samhita, Canto 1, Chapter 17, discusses this in some detail. It states that one day Upananda's wife, Prabhavati, came to make a complaint to Mother Yashoda. Upananda is the elder brother of Nanda Maharaj. She said, "O Devi, we're so close to each other that we see no difference between each other's possessions. My stock of butter, ghee, milk, and yogurt is yours, and I take it that yours is mine. Nevertheless, your son must learn how to discriminate between his house and that of others. To put it bluntly, your boy has become a thief, for he regularly comes into my house to steal milk products, to steal butter. And when I catch him and try to correct him, he talks back to me, and then he runs away. As his mother, it's your duty to teach him to respect other people's property. He is, after all, the son of Braja's king. If he steals, then all the other boys his age will follow his bad example. Even now they accompany him wherever he goes, and they join in his mischief. Please do something." So in response, Mother Yasoda said, "I just cannot understand. My warehouse is overflowing with butter. Still my son rarely eats butter or yogurt here. Now I understand why. He's eating it in the homes of others. O honorable one, next time Krishna steals from your home, catch him. Bring him to me with butter still all over his chubby face, and I will teach him a lesson he won't forget. In the meantime, please forgive his offenses, and let there be no ill will between our families." So Prabhavati Devi, delighted to hear Mother Yasoda's, words of reassurance, went home in a happy mood, where she eagerly waited for Krishna to again set foot in her house so she could catch him. And it wasn't long before Krishna had finished his visits to, Gokula's storehouses. And Upananda's home was the next in line to serve, as the acharyas say, the arena for the cowherd boys' daily sacrifices to the Supreme Lord. That's how they put it. In that sacrifice, it's very poetic, they say Prabhavati's butter would be the oblations, Krishna, the head priest, the cowherd boys' mouths, the sacrificial fire, and the village monkeys, the beneficiaries of the Gopa's charity. And the village monkeys, the beneficiaries of the Gopa's charity. Transcendental poetry. Then, quietly making their way out from a grove of trees, Krishna and his friends scaled the outer wall of Upananda's house and quietly dropped into the inner courtyard and ran into the storeroom. But at that point, the boys were surprised, or you could say disappointed, when they saw that all the milk, the butter, and yogurt was suspended from the ceiling out of their reach. But when some of the gopas turned to leave, Krishna whispered, "No, no, stay, stay." And as he quickly constructed a makeshift platform by piling together a crate and a footstool, and I think it said a grinding mortar, and put it all together, made that makeshift stage. But when he climbed on top of it, with the help of his friends, the milk products were still too far away. But just as Krishna was about to give up and climb down, Subal, coward boy Subal, handed him a stick. So Krishna used the stick to poke the clay pot until it broke, spilling all this freshly churned butter all over himself and onto the floor. La la. And scooping up the nectar, the boys and their monkey friends greedily stuffed it into their mouths, while softly giggling to themselves and complimenting Krishna on his cleverness. Complimenting, "Krishna, you are so clever." But then suddenly, Prabhavati arrived. The plot thickens. Seeing her in the doorway with a stick in hand, one boy shouted, "Quick, run, we're all caught." And all the gopas started running around the storeroom in a panic. Some even ran right past Prabhavati and her menacing stick. But unfortunately, Krishna couldn't get past his aunt. By Yogamaya's design, despite his superior agility, Prabhavati was able to catch Krishna and hold on to his wrist while he cried for help. "Maya, Maya, Maya," his mother, mother, mother. And abandoned by his friends and held captive by his determined aunt, Krishna shed false tears. The acharyas say, filled the trail he made by dragging his feet as Prabhavati pushed and pulled him back to Nanda Maharaja's palace. She's dragging him back. And by the time the two arrived at Nandagram, Krishna was really scared. He thought, "Mother will be angry and she'll hit me with the stick." So he used the edge of Prabhavati's sari to cover his head in shame. But as soon as clever Krishna heard his mother's voice, he manifested a portion of his mystic potency and transformed himself into Prabhavati's son, whose name is Kandava, while still keeping his head covered with her garment. He changed himself into look like her son. So approaching Mother Yasoda, Prabhavati said, "Mother Yasoda, this rascal son of yours again broke into my house, shattered a pot of butter, and ate the contents with his friends." And ashamed of her naughty son, Yashoda Devi replied, "Dearest Prabhavati, remove your garment from his face. I have every intention to banish this mischievous boy from my house forever." But when Prabhavati removed the cloth from Krishna's face, she was shocked to see her own son, Kandava, standing by her side. And at this point, Yashoda just laughed, wondering, what's this drama all about? Prabhavati had no explanation. For a moment, she was just speechless, as Yashoda said, "Devi, this is not my son, but yours. Why have you unjustly accused my boy and played this trick on me?" So confused, Prabhavati pulled on her son's arms and shaking him said, "My dear son, how did you change places with the son of Braja's queen? Tell me now or I will punish you." But, quote unquote, Kandava just looked silently at the ground as if humiliated by his mother's conduct. And having no other recourse, Prabhavati left Nanda Maharaja's palace bewildered. And as she and her son, Kandava, quote unquote, had departed, Yashoda, Rohini, Nanda Maharaj, and Balaram, they all started laughing, saying, "This attempt to spoil the good name of Krishna was foiled by his own purity." This attempt to spoil the good name of Krishna was foiled by his own purity. It's not over. Meanwhile, on the way back to Upananda's house, Krishna, it's described, abandoned his disguise as Kandava and appeared to Prabhavati in his original form. Seeing Krishna before her, Prabhavati let go of his hand in amazement. Then it's described that Krishna wagged his forefinger at her and he said, "Auntie, if you try to take me to my mother again, instead of taking on the form of your son, I will take on the form of your good husband, and you will be discredited as the mad woman of Gokula." The mad woman of Gokula. So wide-eyed and speechless, Prabhavati wondered, what kind of mystic power this little boy has? And for where has it come from? And fearing that he would, make good on his threat, she stopped trying to catch him whenever he came to her house to steal butter. And gradually, the word spread that if Krishna was ever caught stealing butter, be aware that he would use magic to escape punishment by embarrassing anyone who tried to bring him to justice. Stated like that. It was already known that he had killed powerful demons. Thus, out of fear of being humiliated, all those elderly gopis stopped trying to catch him in his butter-stealing pastimes. Hare Krishna. Thus, having instilled this fear into the hearts of the elderly gopis, Krishna and his cowherd friends started to steal butter, milk, and yogurt with impunity. So in these and other ways, Krishna spent his childhood in Gokula in great happiness. Hare Krishna. This is a good pastime for this month of Damodar. Krishna's disguise as the son of Prabhavati. So let us conclude today with a final verse from Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada from his Padyavali. It's verse 14, short but sweet. And I quote, "Seeing a pot of butter in the distance, baby Keshava quickly crawled there, anxiously turning his face out of fear of his mother. I worship these childhood pastimes of the Lord." Rupa says, I worship these childhood pastimes of the Lord. And we do too, by his grace and by the grace of Srila Prabhupada. So thank you, Prabhus. I'll be back again next Friday. More disguises. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radharashama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Gauranitai ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Nitai Go Pimanandi, Jai Jai Sri Sri Radhe Shyam. Bye, well.